What's up, friendos, and welcome into Leading Off, brought to you by PrizePicks. Check out PrizePicks today. Download the app, use the promo code Leading Off. Get a 100% match up to $100. Go and do it today and PrizePick with us. Who are us? I'm the Welsh. You can find me on Twitter. Is it the Welsh? That is KC Bubba at BDintric, aka Tout Daily Champion. Bubba, you were crowned last night. It was a little bit early, but I guess you would do that in like the daily stuff. You could go early, but you beat some of the big dogs in the industry. You beat Derek Carty, took down Howard Bender. What's up, man? Congratulations.
Thanks, man. It was fun. Yeah, it's a fun yearly tournament they do. There's side pots involved if you so choose, but you have to be a member of Tout Wars to be in the Tout Daily. So just a fun little side thing. And it's like 4 quarters of the season. And if you finish top 2 or 3 each week, you get a ticket into the final tournament, which is like a 3-round tournament, and you have to kind of obviously advance to. I was in the final 4 last night, took it down with authority. It was a good feeling for sure.
Who kind of like who'd you ride there? Like who got you really good this season?
I've been on the Seattle stacks like the last month, which has been great. But last night I just kept going with Royce Lewis, who keeps going deep, Adam Duvall, who keeps going deep. Those kind of players, and then pitching was beautiful. So it's like Cole Ragans, filthy. So yeah, it's been a fun go right now.
Well, when we get to that DFS segment, just remember this is the Tout Daily Champion taking down like Derek Carty and those guys. So maybe listen.
I don't use a formula like they all do. I just use my brain.
Use your brain. I use my brain when I do it. Not like them smart
guy.
I use my big brain to do the DFS there. By the way, how hilarious that we are completely competing up against Fantasy Fest. Just want to point out, do not leave us, but when we're done, Fantasy Pros does have Fantasy Fest going on, so we are also live as they are doing like 6 hours of football coverage.
It's like good planning.
Not great, but listen, do the football after. You can do all the football fun. This is the baseball where we're going to have all the fun. You guys got some questions, drop them in the chat. We will try to dedicate a little segment to that. We are going to do our bets. We're going to do the prize picks. We're going to do some DFS, and we will do all the latest news. Like, if I had a beep sound, I would do it. What are the Angels doing? I know we're like 24 hours after this, but you guys haven't heard from us. What in God's name are the Angels doing? This used to be a pastime of August in baseball. You know, if you're kind of newish to baseball or didn't pay attention, August, there was nothing ridiculous about placing guys on waivers because there is a waiver trade deadline. If a player was put on waivers, a team could claim, then the team who put on waivers could do one of 2 things. 3 things, actually. Pull him back, let the team have that guy for a contract, or they can work out a trade. If a guy passes through waivers, they could also still work out a trade after the fact, I believe, as long as the player was not claimed.
Yep.
This was one of the worst and stupidest things that baseball did because this came post trade deadline. And then there was this other little pseudo deadline thing. Insanely dumb. But the history of it saw players like, if I remember, I think like Adam Dunn might have been a player that was moved, or Levon Hernandez. I just remember it with the Diamondbacks was a player that was moved. We also saw, I think it was Alex Rios, who at that time was put on waivers by it was either the Blue Jays or the White Sox, and then the other team claimed them and just said, take the money, get rid of the money. I'm giving you a little bit of background because there is a history to this in that it's not the most surprising thing, except there is no more trade deadline, and the Angels traded away minor league assets to acquire Lucas Giolito and Reynaldo Lopez. And yesterday they put Lopez, Giolito, Matt Moore, Hunter Renfroe, and Randall Grichuk all on waivers. Essentially just right here, Richard. This is a poverty franchise. Bubba, all these players, I think within the next 24 hours, I don't know if it's going to be today, can be claimed by these other teams. Now, if they're not claimed, I don't think they're released. They just go back to the roster.
Grichuk hit a home run last night. Grichuk and Renfroe in the lineup.
But I believe it's like $8 million total dollars. Every single one of these players could be claimed for. If you wanted to claim the whole bunch, they're going to get claimed. Giolito will get claimed. It's $1 million the rest of the way for any team that is competing for or is trying to get some starting pitching help. The Diamondbacks were in talks to trade for Giolito. They're going to put a claim in. Hunter Renfroe is going to get claimed. Randall Grichuk's going to get claimed. And Reynaldo Lopez is going to get claimed. I don't know about the others. Have you ever seen a more poverty franchise than the Angels?
No, I was beating the drum for trade Shohei and get as many prospects as you can because you're already a mess of a franchise. They didn't do that, obviously. Look where we're at now. So much fun. It's going to be interesting, though, because there's a lot of caveats here. Obviously, got to be signed by September 1st, so they got to be done by tomorrow. That way they can be playoff eligible. They're going to really help out some teams because the waiver process, like you mentioned, it's worst record to top record. So these wildcard teams, all of a sudden, the Reds who didn't trade for pitching but need pitching, there's Clevinger, there's Giolito, the Giants, there's so many teams. They're going to get guys for basically free without having to trade any assets. So there's already discussions that the MLBPA and others are going to file a grievance against this. It's like I saw a good comparison. It's when the last place team in a fantasy league drops all their good players and makes it available. It's a very similar situation. So this is just embarrassing on all fronts. Part of it, I get it's a business decision. It's like you said, like in the old days, it made sense because at least you can get like some single A kid back or something. You can get something in return for it and kind of like hopefully justify striking gold somewhere. But right now, this is rough. But then I don't want to like go too far ahead on the outline. Minutes later, we see other teams start to do it.
But that's the thing. Like, I'm not surprised that this happens, and we'll talk about it in just a second.
It's just to the volume the Angels did it. Like they just traded for all these guys, and now they're letting.
But that's the thing. It's not about putting a guy or two on waivers and letting someone else claim it, and you're saving money. It's not about that. The Yankees put Harrison Bader on waivers, and if he gets claimed, they just kind of don't care. They would rather save the money the rest of the way through than hold on. Or maybe, he went to the team and said he wants some playing time. That's one thing. It's another thing when 2 weeks ago, this team was going all in, or a month ago, they were going all in at the trade deadline, trading away rookie assets, trading away everything they could to get anything they could to possibly be in here. And now they're just being like, we'll save $1 million on Giolito and put him out there. Like, I don't think it's the worst thing to acknowledge when you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You messed up. But it's a bad look in a month, and you put all of these players on waivers, and they're essentially looking to save upwards of $5-6 million at the end of the year. When I saw this move as well, I was like, this is bad news for Ohtani moving forward, because
why is he even suiting up right now?
But that's where we're going with this. There's no chance he's suiting up in like 10 days from now. There's no chance. Like this, the Angels finally said, all right, this was the moment. This was the moment we've been waiting for. When was the moment they were going to realize? That was the moment. They put all these players they had traded assets for, they put them all on waivers, and they're willing to just let them go for nothing. So that was the moment. So how much longer do you have? Pride in Ohtani, wanting to play, wanting to, be there for the team, pad stats, be healthy, all of that, that's there. But this is the end. This is the end game of Ohtani not finishing the year. Mike Trout had said he would be back at some point this season. No, he's not. There's no point. This team, it's embarrassing. It's sad. And these guys will get claimed, and there's going to be some fantasy value. I actually think Hunter Renfroe could be put in a really good spot by a team. I believe Giolito will get claimed, and I know we can be like, oh, Giolito, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Right organization might be able to do a little bit with him.
The Giants can get Giolito and Clevinger right now. They need pitching so bad. They're somehow still in the race. The Reds, it's Great American Small Park. I had Ben Titt on Bench with Bubba yesterday, and we went over like all these guys in the dark scenarios, like wild card teams. The Giants would be big ones. The D-backs could maybe use another starter still. They're in the mix back there. There's a lot of the National League has like 3 options before the American League wild card. So I don't see many of them getting to the AL is what I'm trying to say. But it's like the D-backs, the Giants, and there's a couple others that could make it real interesting right there.
Yeah, it's reverse order. So, like a team like the Padres, if they want to put Padres just lost Yu Darvish, they wanted to put a claim on Giolito, they would have priority over the Diamondbacks. Or if they wanted to go for that, big right-handed bat and Hunter Renfroe, they would have priority one time through. So, everyone's going to be able to do their things. So it's just a wild move. As you mentioned, the other players that went out there, we saw that the White Sox put Clevinger. Clevinger's been phenomenal. Another decent shot for why would outside of like what a kind of garbage person he might have represented himself to be, why would a team not consider Clevinger at this point? Why would they, especially for anybody that is putting these waiver claims in? You got him, and then you also had the Mets put Carlos Carrasco on the waiver. So this is a weird, they did it 2 days before, to your point, just so a guy will clear waivers and can be put on the roster before September 1st. So that's why teams are doing this. It's actually pretty sneaky.
Yep.
Because you're putting the pressure on teams to not have time to think about it at all. They got to do it. They got to claim. And these teams that want to save a couple dollars, this is a good opportunity to do it. So this is what the new waiver claim looks like, by the way. Teams hold the player all the way until 2 days before so they can pop that player out, and a team makes a quick, rash decision. And then all of a sudden, the Angels might value the money they're going to say. They might value like $4 million more than those players and what they gave away, which is bad management. Everyone should be fired.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. So, Clevinger should definitely be picked up too. He's actually pitching better than Giolito of late, which is pretty wild. Yep. But both should be interesting. I did want to comment on Silva's comment in the chat. He said the Angels are getting rid of 8 players, but not CJ Cron. That is funny. I think the thing with Cron is his back issue. No team's going to claim him anyways. Like, you obviously have to clear waivers and a physical, so it's just kind of a waste of time situation.
Yeah, and also I'd just say, like, there might be guys on waivers that just didn't get reported. That happens all the time. That was part of the old process. You'd have a gajillion players. Like, literally, teams would put their best players out on waivers because they could just pull it at any time if they wanted. So it's a really weird process. From a fantasy perspective, there's some fantasy value out there. I mean, I think Giolito could maybe recoup what the hell was going on there. Hunter Renfroe, those are 2 guys I'm interested in. Clevinger as well, see where the hell he goes. I wouldn't be surprised if even the Guardians just took a little, the relationship might be frayed too much with them, but Gavin Williams getting injured might be something why a Guardians team would pick up a guy like Clevinger that they knew. So it's weird. It's crazy. That's a waiver deadline.
Could you imagine Renfroe or Grichuk going to Great American Small Park to platoon with all their lefty outfielders?
Renfroe would be amazing. Renfroe would be amazing.
That's the kind of thing. Like, we saw the Braves do it with the year Acuna went out. They went and traded for all those outfielders so they could play a platoon game. Worked beautifully. No reason the Reds can't do it.
Yeah. Who do you think, like, of the big guys, does anyone not get claimed?
Out of the big guys, I can see it being one of the outfielders. I think it'll be either Grichuk or Renfroe doesn't get claimed.
I cannot. To me,
well, they're all free, so why wouldn't you take any of them?
Well, they're not free. You got to pay whatever the rest of the season is.
In MLB terms, it's pretty free.
Well, like a team like the Diamondbacks, who have screwed up really at every level, you'd still have to pay. It costs you $1 million to make a bet on Giolito the rest of the way through. They might think twice about that. A lot of teams.
The other thing is, you got to clear a 40-man spot.
They'd have to make roster.
So that's some questions teams might not be willing to do type stuff. That's
Hunter Renfroe's the one I'm most interested in here. Watch the destination for him. Also in roster moves, the Yankees in the rehab process of Josh Donaldson. Once he was healthy, they said, "See ya," and they kicked his ass to the curb. A lot of stories too before this about how they knew what just a bad teammate he was, which I thought was pretty hilarious, and just what a cancer in the locker room he was overall. So he comes back as they brought all the young guys up and they booted him. Any chance Josh Donaldson saves face rest of the season, or is he going to just chill at home?
I think he chills at home the rest of the season, and he would be honestly a fun one to go see play in Japan like Manny did for a couple of years. I think he'd love it there, and he'd actually flourish in that kind of setup.
Yeah, I'm sure his stuff would go over really well over there. By the way, the first time ever with all that type of news, we go like 15 minutes into a show and we haven't talked about this, but we almost had a no-hitter last night. Alex Cobb with the Giants. He went bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. I was watching this. And he gives up a single that was, or I guess maybe it was a double. It was a double, roped to center right field. Kind of looked like Matos might have been able to.
It would have been a heck of a play.
I mean, no hitters on the line, so like maybe throw that out there and maybe try to make that happen. But he just loses it. He ended up giving up only 1 hit. He went the full go 9, struck out 9. Check this out: 18 swinging strikes. Every single one was off of his splitter. It was off of, that's right, a splitter. Nuts. Any thoughts on Alex Cobb? I have him in so many leagues, and I had him going last night in so many spots. It was a big help. Alex Cobb trustworthiness rest of the season, after this performance seems pretty high.
Yeah, he is. Honestly, I would probably skip the next start. These are by far the most pitches he's ever thrown in
You were
his
like
career.
125 or
130. He
6.
was
Did he go
131.
130? Oh,
131
man.
last I saw. His career going into that was 113. And you could see it in the ninth. I was watching it too. His splitter wasn't moving. The control wasn't there as much. You could see he was laboring. He was throwing it harder than he had before. I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants push him back for his next start. That's just the way they roll. But I trust him. I looked into his stats after the game last night. His ERA is like a 3.45 ERA on the season or something. The ratio's been a phenomenal. Not the best strikeout guy, of course. It's like 125 and 141 innings, but he's just consistently good time and time again. You might have a hiccup here and there. Overall solid. You roll with Alex Cobb. You drafted him for this reason. He's doing it. Last night would have just been icing on the cake.
Yeah, it was funny because at that point, it was almost like if anyone ever plays MLB The Show and a guy just has no more energy, like he was laboring to just get that sinker over, he's trying to get it over the plate. And that's all that he was trying to, he was just trying to throw strikes.
He got squeezed on the Senzel at bat. Yeah, that's been a strike. That was a strike all night.
That was the one because he walks Senzel.
And he walks down and gets to, yep.
Yeah, he could have had the out there, and I don't know if that would have really changed anything. But also what you get in those instances where a guy has gone like 120 plus, they were taking more pitches. I think 100%. They were more willing to just have called
Ellie's last at bat, he was just watching it go right down the middle.
Yeah.
Like on a 3-1 pitch, he could have it was on a tee.
There was no chasing. They were just waiting on what was going on. So Alex Cobb was phenomenal, did wonders for you. Speaking of phenomenal, Cole Ragans, who you mentioned, 9 strikeouts, 7 innings. It was a no decision, 16 swinging strikes, finished with a 32% CSW. He had 7 whiffs on his slider too. It was a 47% swing and miss pitch. Just overall, like Bogman and I were kind of going on about this. He wasn't wanting to be a believer. I say you kind of go all in at this point with a guy like Cole Ragans, and it hasn't disappointed. The fastball was touching like 98. I think he'd been touching like around 100. He was touching 98 in this one, but the average velo was up, so he's consistently doing that. His pitch mix looks great. He's throwing strikes. He looks like a bulldog right now, and his slider is dominating. Cole Ragans is one of those dudes that is making the late season push for the people that are over there on Fantasy Fest right now on Fantasy Pros. They're missing on what Cole Ragans is. Yep. And that is for us listening here on the podcast and on the live stream. This is the guy that you go get in the off season when trades open up for next season. And this is a guy that is going to rank really high as this continues.
Yeah, he's a league winner for this year. I'm concerned about his ranking for next year. He's already had 2 TJs, and we see this increased velocity.
What do you mean you're worried about his rank? You think it's going to go too high?
Yeah, just because he's had 2 Tommy Johns already, and he's with the increased velocity, we see where this usually goes with some pitchers.
But like Pollock is going to screw this up because Pollock won't shut up about Ragans, and he's making Ragans is his.
It's his Sandy. It's his Sandy.
It's like it's his art piece right now. Like his life force is Cole Ragans, and he's going to ruin it for us. Thanks, Nick. But outside of that, but what does that mean though?
He'll be a top at this rate, he could be a top 30 SP next year.
See that's going to ruin it if that is true.
That's what I'm saying, and that's where it's going.
Nah, I mean, but see, what I think you can do is early off season, if you're into him from like a dynasty perspective, you can get him for probably outside the top 50 at least, and that's what I think. Yeah,
Donnie nailed it. Donnie nailed it.
Yeah, Donnie's right. He's making it like me with Corbin Carroll. You're going to ruin it, but I think that's kind of like wherever it ends in like full draft season, we can get into that earlier, and that's kind of my.
Well, that's why I like doing my early drafts. Like it's fun in that regard. Like get in there early and have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are psychopaths. It's not even September, and you guys are like, we've done a full NFBC draft. So you're ridiculous. I mean, I love it, but it is ridiculous. Also, in the last bit of the big news, Royce Lewis, a homer on Tuesday in the Twins. I mean, Royce Lewis is on something right now. Someone asked this. Laser asked this: Geloff or Royce Lewis? Rest of season.
I still use Geloff because of the speed, but that is extremely close.
You're sure you want to go Geloff?
Hey, we were opposite a lot the other day, so we might as well keep that train rolling.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull this up here. I want to look at
Geloff could go 15-15 by the end of the season. He's only played like 2 months.
Well, I mean, Royce might have 15 homers by the end of it.
He's not stealing bags, though.
No, that's true. So in August, Royce is hitting 294. He just hit his 5th homer of the month.
Yeah.
He does have only 1 stolen base. So yeah, I mean, that has been low, but the power numbers from like a general standpoint, 9 homers in 39 games so far this year. He's got a 219 ISO, 315 batting average. I would go Royce, actually, unless I'm chasing stolen bases.
How many games was that? Because it's funny. Geloff has played in 40 games this season, has 10 home runs, 9 stolen bases, and a 269 batting average.
I think Geloff's going to come back down like a little bit, but if you're chasing stolen bases, it's got to be Geloff, 100%. Sure, but Royce has been an absolute monster. You know what? Let's play a game here. Speaking of versus, as I always have loved to do, this is going to be a rookie-looky one. And I actually asked this question on Rates and Barrels yesterday. DVR and I were doing it yesterday. Ceddanne Rafaela, and Parker Meadows are the 2 prospects that are up right now. Parker Meadows is really having like a really good run. We talked about him. We said 5 outfielder, 12-team league. You could pick him up. He's hitting 333. His strikeout rate is really high, though. He's just coming off of a 3 hit game. And Rafaela hasn't really been getting a whole bunch of run. He's not really doing much of anything, but he is here, and they said he is going to start getting starts. If you had to pick a rest of season guy, Parker Meadows or Ceddanne Rafaela, who would you pick?
I want to say Parker Meadows just because I know he's getting the run, but it's tough because Rafaela's numbers in the minors look very, very, very good between AA and AAA. I just don't know how long he'll be up for. Is he here just to fill in while like Abreu's on the paternity leave, or how's that going?
I think they said this might be like a rest of season, get him at his at-bats and everything like that for the rest of the year. It just might not be everyday starts.
I go Meadows.
Yeah, I think Meadows with the playing time is the way to go. Yeah. Rafael long-term is the guy that I would want in Dynasty or next year. I'm going to be making the bet on. It's going to be Rafaela, but Parker Meadows has continuously been good, so keep him in your mind. All right, couple listener questions, and I'm going to give you guys the hint for where in the world are Welsh and Corbin Carroll today. The hint for you today is security. Your hint is security. That is where Corbin Carroll and I are. You can put your guesses in the chat, and if you are correct at the end, I will put you on the board for someone to win a Corbin Carroll autograph card. Not one of those, like you can see a little card right there on the jersey. Get an autograph card. The hint again is security. All right, couple questions for listeners here. Duvall or Jimenez? I'm going to guess that's Eloy.
I'm going to go with Duvall because Jimenez can't stay on the field.
Yeah, I'd be fine with Duvall. Duvall's on his thing right now. Yeah, and he has that thing. He has the thing, and he's on the thing right now.
Yeah, when he does it, you do it.
So I agree with that one. Snyder or McNeil rest of the season?
With the injuries that the Chapman and company, Schneider's going to play pretty much every day, so go Schneider.
Yeah, I'm good. I actually just picked him up in a league, so I'm fine with that one as well. How about this one? Would you drop Hunter Green?
What's your replacement?
Yeah, let's assume.
It's a big part.
Well, okay, let's play assumption here for a second. God, I'm trying to think of like a fringy. What if it was Clevinger? Who would you rather have, Green or Clevinger?
Give me Clevinger.
You go Clevy? Okay.
Yep. Unless he goes to Cincinnati. Clarify that one. I'd rather have the strikeout upside.
Speaking of, Carly asked, drop Andrew Abbott for Clevinger.
Yes. I like Abbott more than Green right now. At least Abbott's showing he can do it. Green's still, it's only 2 starts off the IL. We'll see how he does. He pitches today, Wednesday in San Francisco. So that'll be a interesting point for Green. But I think I'd keep Abbott in this one.
I think I would keep. Okay, I thought you were going to say like Clevinger. I think I'd keep Abbott too. I don't know what's going on with Clevinger yet. I kind of want to see what's going to go on with him, so I don't know. Yeah. And then last one, Nate Lowe or Vlad rest of season, and he says, yes, I'm being serious.
Yeah, the Vlad questions have been legit this year. Like he's been good, but not great. I still go Vlad, but it's very tricky. It's tricky.
I'd have a hard time not going Vlad as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of those, because if he goes on a heater, like he can go the day after you drop him, which is very possible with Vlad, that'll sting for a long, long time.
These questions, by the way, or these answers, they're phenomenal. These are phenomenal answers right now that are in the chat of where Corbin and I are. So I very much love them. So keep it up here. Quick injuries, Bo Bichette to the IL again with a quad injury. That's not good. Yu Darvish on the IL with elbow inflammation. Massively not good. Why I think, they are wheeling and dealing, gunslinging. That's how the Padres are. No doubt they're going to put a claim in on one of these guys.
But they keep losing. They're almost out of the playoff race now.
Well, they got to keep going, though, so they don't care about spending. Matt McClain, in a bad one, goes to the IL with an oblique injury, so that's no bueno. Jaron Duran is having surgery on his toe, and he's going to miss the rest of the season. He is out. Jared Kelnick is going to begin a minor league rehab assignment at AAA Tacoma today. So off of the stupid broken foot or whatever it was, he's going to already be rehabbing. He might be able to come back in like a week and a half or so and help this team.
Yeah, they've been playing really well without him, though. So maybe they should kind of stick to the guns on that one. Like, what is I guess Marlowe would be the one that gets the bump, probably.
Yeah. Well, the rosters also expand. Remember that. So they expand a little bit. So they might not have to
or something.
Yeah, they might not have to do too much. They actually might be able to keep the majority of these guys on his return. But also the point is like the minor league season is about to end. I think there's like 2 more weeks in AAA. AA's got like 10 days or something like that. So we're close to that. Also in some rehab assignments, Byron Buxton and Alex Kirilloff both beginning a rehab assignment today. And I believe Buxton's going to be playing the outfield. So I think that's
what they want to do.
Yeah, he was kind of complaining about that and not being out there. And, he was like, I'll be excited when I'm in center field. And he's in center field, so he's playing there. In the biggest what the hell was going on news, just really quick, did you see the fans that stormed the field and were hugging Acuna and taking a picture? And then it was the weirdest scene because also like, the security, like they're grabbing and holding Acuna, and then the guards are there trying to grab, and it's this big mush of people that all tumbled down. It's a bad look. It's a bad look on fans. I don't understand this one. Like, you know how uncomfortable I would be? I would be uncomfortable in a normal setting of baseball if someone ran up to me and was trying to grab and hug me. If you're a baseball player and guys can break onto a field, I don't know why these people do that. It's one thing when they do the like, hey, I'm going to get attention and make a bet and run around the field. If you go, I would be terrified if somebody jumped at me and was trying to hug me if I was a baseball player.
Yeah, it's just so many weird things took place there. First off, just running to hug. It's like an old rock star. It's like when Hank Aaron won the home run title and the guys were hugging around the bases. Secondly, the worst security guards in all of Coors Field. That was amazing. Like where are we? Second off, then you see his teammates start to run after the security guard. It's like, hey, does anybody care about the best player in baseball? Anybody want to stop this? Anybody?
I don't remember who the player was. There was like a player or two that was like, oh, this dude would have been tackled here. Like they would have tackled him.
Oh, can you imagine in New York with Big Meat Pete running around? Oh, check. Like, where's Kyle Farnsworth when you need him, folks?
I was going to tell you, someone's going to get like really badly like shot. Like someone's going to get like hurt, and it's something bad's going to happen.
If they were in Chicago, they would have got grazed by a bullet that they had stuck in their tummy. Like, so where are we at on that one?
Dude. Okay, what's more embarrassing? The Rockies security allowing the fans to jump on and hug, or a woman was able to get a loaded gun in past security in Chicago, and that was why the gun went off. Did someone get really hurt? I don't want to be laughing.
No, that's what I'm aware. I heard it grazed.
Yeah, a gun grazed somebody. What's more embarrassing?
The gun situation. Obviously.
The gun situation.
Yeah,
exactly. That is a very
that's actually Chicago to a T. So keep doing what you're doing, folks.
All right. It is truly it's the end of baseball season if I've ever seen it with what's going on. 3 up and 3 down on the up. Wilson Contreras, 2 for 4, 2 homers, 3 runs. He's been on a thing. Luis Rengifo, he was the offense yesterday. 2 homers, 2 RBI, went 3 for 4. And Tariq Skubal, though he did give up 2 earned runs, he went 6 and struck out 9. He has been a very, very good option of strikeouts. I think actually on ITL, we did Skubal versus Ragans rest of season. And I went Ragans, and I think Boggs went Skubal.
I'd go Ragans as well, but it's a good one. It's fair. It's very fair.
It is. On the down, who got mollywopped? Merrill Kelly, 5 innings, 12 hits, 7 earned runs.
Dodgers are heating up, folks. Dodgers are heating up.
I thought you would like the mollywop too. That's my California coming out of me.
Pretty proud of you on that one.
Yeah, thank you. Tyler Anderson, he went 5. He walked 3, gave up 6 earned runs. And Nolan Jones, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. So that one is not quite working. What is working, as you can see, I'm scrolling for it. It's our friends over at PrizePicks. Use the promo code leading off, get a 100% match up to $100. That is free money to play and have the best time of your life. And you can do it with your friends right here because we like to play with you guys and we set lineups. So, Bubba, what's your PrizePicks look like today?
Brian Hayes over 1.5 total bases as the Pirates take on Zerpa, the lefty, and Hayes has been on fire. In August alone, just lowered his ground ball rate by like 15%. Acuna McMahon combo, Coors Field special, over 5.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Two not great pitchers on the mounds. I'll take my chances there. And then Kyle Tucker over 8 fantasy points. The Astros are on fire. Tucker, I wanted Yordan, but Yordan was not eligible anywhere. So give me Tucker over 8.
All right. And by the way, Anthony, that was Gavin Lux who said that. He said, I'm not going to lie, our security guards would have spread these two dudes.
That's because Lux got all jacked up this year. So, yeah.
He was actually was like 5 days or 4 days or whatever, right before the Arizona Complex League ended. He finally showed up to the Dodgers facility. He was working out. So just FYI, if anybody cares, he was finally at the facility itself where Walker Buehler has been and everything. And he's starting to get going and working out. So he probably would have spread those dudes. So that would not be a guy that I would try to go take that picture with. My prize picks for today, I'm going with Corbin Carroll, hit, run, RBI, 1.5 over. They need him. Garrett Cole, I like today, 7 strikeouts over. And I'm going with a combo here. I don't think I've done this one this season. Tanner Bybee and Sonny Gray, first inning hits, 1.5 over. It feels risky, but boy, the top of both of these lineups with these two pitchers, I like it. So it's essentially got to give up less than 1 hit or less than 2 hits is what I'm going for. So Carroll, hit, run, RBI, Cole, strikeouts over, and the under for Bybee, Gray, hits comboed. On the bet side today, I actually locked in a couple of my bets last night. For me, I took 2 K props. I don't jump into K props a ton because I think I have just kind of sucked at them this year, but I really liked Logan Webb. I like Logan Webb, the 5.5 over, and Garrett Cole. It's a big number, and it was like giving you a little bit extra. It was minus 105, which you usually don't see on K props because it's 7.5, but I was going and looking. Detroit, I believe, over the last 3 games has struck out more than anybody, and they're near the top of the leaderboard as far as striking out against righties on the season. They're near the top, so I'm in on Garrett Cole today. And then I went with a money line play, a parlay, Texas and Seattle, just straight money line together, comboed that around plus 120 for them to win, and those are my bets. What do you got, Bubs?
JP Crawford over 1.5 total bases at plus 145. We had that on Monday at plus 150. It hit. If you would have had it Tuesday, hit as well. He's leading off. Just so you know, the Mariners lineup just came out. J-Rod is off again on Wednesday with his sore foot. Kyle Tucker over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at plus 115. I got to keep my Tucker trend going. And then Zach Eflin over 5.5 Ks. Marlins don't strike out a ton, but they're no Soler, and they are scuffling. So plus 115. I like try to get plus money plays or low juice plays if I can. But the one I didn't play because it's going to start very soon. I love anything if you can get anything on Sanchez, Christopher Sanchez of Philadelphia against the Angels. 29% K rate versus lefties this year for the Angels. So go get some Sanchez.
Yeah, there's actually a combo on PrizePicks for Sanchez and Detmers at like 10. That was actually a pretty intriguing one. The Julio not in the lineup thing. I don't think I've already made the bet, so it doesn't matter.
No, I still like Seattle. Neal's pitching for Oakland. Seattle's not losing two in a row to the A's.
I completely agree. It just don't like that quite as much. Hey, let's get some DFS stuff from the Tout Daily Champion.
Yeah, it's a little different slate today. The evening stinks because there's 9 games early. That's a good slate. That's starting right now. There's a 6-game evening slate at 6:40 Eastern. Garrett Cole against Detroit. I like him just like Welsh does. Sorry, first time I did that. Well, Bogman's not even awake yet, so we're good. 11.5 Ks. Give me Zach Eflin against Miami at 9.7 Ks. And then if you have to punt pitching, you want to roll the dice. It's very risky, but Brendan Pfaadt at 6.5 Ks against the Dodgers. Stacks like the Yankees versus Wentz. That's who's supposed to pitch. Colorado versus Vines, Atlanta versus Freeland, and Pittsburgh is your value versus Zerpa. I like that quite a bit. And then your other value plays Hunter Goodman of Colorado's 2.9K. In Coors, the over Piguero is 2.9K against Zerpa. I like that a lot. He's been in cleanup for Pittsburgh. And then DJ Stewart's 2.7K against Dane Dunning.
Look at that. Daily champ. That's from the champ, everybody. That's from the champ.
Champ is here.
Where in the world did Corbin and I go this time? Your guess was security. That was your guess. Let's roll the video, and then Bubba, we're going to get your take right after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we had some pretty good guesses that were in here. We had Area
Just some really
51,
good guesses.
which is pretty funny. Wonky said Fort Knox. That's a very good security-based one. Donnie said the White House. I like this because this is thinking outside the box. Stark Industries Tower
That's
BT
good.
Fouts. Because sometimes Corbin and I can just absolutely break entertainment lines. Richard is very confident that we were at the Pentagon. So those are some guesses. Maybe one is right. Bubba, what say you?
Well, my first guesses were there. Those were just guesses, apparently. I think I
No,
know
one
the
of
an-
them might be right. One of them could be right. I'm not
I
saying that
think
they're not.
I think I know what the answer is, and I'm not going to get it right. So I hope I'm wrong here. But I was thinking Fort Knox out the gate. That was my
Okay.
one out the gate. I'm hoping this is sarcastic one I saw a few people mention in the chat.
Okay. Well, Fort Knox is a very good guess. It is not it because Corbin and I, we traveled down to Colorado.
Yep,
We found the
that's what I was
worst
hoping it
security
was.
on the planet, and we took a picture with Acuna. Look at us. We're on the field. We let that guy. We used Corbin's connections. We let that guy in the background who's getting carried off by the way, like 5 security people for one. And Corbin and I took a photo with Acuna. Look at us. We're so happy. We didn't scare him. We just took our photo op out there. And a couple people did actually get that one very organically. I believe Concase was the first one, Coots Field, but we'll let that be a win here. And DJ said guaranteed rate field. So there was a couple good guesses. We didn't scare Acuna. We look very, very happy. Corbin and I taking the real selfie with Ronald Acuna.
So
what do you think of that one?
It's outstanding. That's why I said I saw those and start popping up in the chat. I'm like, I hope those are the right ones. I hope that's the ones. I would have felt bad stealing it once I saw that. So I'm like, I'm not going to go with that because that's perfect. And once I saw him, I'm like, that's the Welsh's brain. That's what it is.
That was my brain. This is one I thought of last night, and I hit it. Shout out to our boy Ethan, by the way, who is able to totally not Photoshop these, and is organic.
It's great. You can get YouTube plus a photographer in all these locations. Like that is some first level Fantasy Pro stuff.
I mean, Fantasy Pros covers all the travel for me to travel around the world, sometimes into imaginary
Fantasy
lands.
Pros PJ. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you guys should be down with it. Last up here is, I got the home run board here. The last up for the home runs. Let's take a look at the board if I can find it here. Home run board for today. Well, we still got Blue Harvester, who's about to crack 50. Got 49. MIA Razor Ramon is at 45. JJ Tater's at 44. That is your top tier, ladies and gentlemen. I have not left the board. I am in 8th at 39. Technically up to 6. It's Fishero, Randy, and myself all have 39. And it's still a game. It's still a live game, though there are 10 between myself and the very top. We got a full month ahead of us. That's what the home run board looks like today. You could have been taken apart all season long if you guys were hanging out with us in the premium, the Fantasy Pros premium. So make sure to check it out. Get in the Discord and all the other cool stuff. Go to fantasypros.com/premium if you want to do it. Also tell you, if you guys want some more live streaming action, thank you guys for hanging with us. All you got to do is go over to the main Fantasy Pros channel. They got Fantasy Fest going on for like 6 hours. We weren't invited. Bubba and I weren't invited, but I think there's a bunch of cool people that are over there. So go and check it out. You can check out all of our other friendos.
Almost as cool as us. Almost.
I mean, listen, I don't know if there's a daily champ over there.
Just saying.
I don't know if any of them went to Coors Field and went on field and took a picture with Acuna and Corbin Carroll.
Yeah,
I did. They didn't, but whatever. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We'll be back again on Friday.
We want to give our home run calls?
Home run call. Sorry, I was about to leave. I was 100% about to leave. Yeah, who the hell are you doing a home run call for?
I'm going Yordong Alvarez.
Okay, I'm going to go with Corey Seager. So Corey Seager for me, Yordong for Ben. Oh, we got to get out of here.
Yeah,
we got to get out of here. For Bubba and me, we are going. Goodbye, friends. Love you all. Come hang with us on Friday with Ben and Craig.
Everybody.
We're out of here. Goodbye. See ya.